I'm Zach Jeffries, and welcome to the first episode of Saskatoon In Focus. The goal of this program is to connect with the leaders in Saskatoon, not just in politics, but in business, the nonprofit sector, and in arts and culture. Saskatoon, I believe, is a great place, and it's not because of GDP stats or population counts that it's great. It's because of people. So my hope is that over the coming weeks and months, we can work together with this program and really explore and find out what makes Saskatoon great by talking to the people behind the headlines and in the headlines. Today, our first guest is Ainsley Robertson, and Ainsley is the co-founder and executive director of The Princess Shop. The Princess Shop is a nonprofit organization in Saskatoon that exists to provide an enhanced graduation experience for young women here in Saskatoon, in addition to mentorship and advice. Welcome, Ainsley.
Thank you for having me.
So thanks so much for coming in. First question is, what is The Princess Shop and how did it begin?
The Princess Shop is a local nonprofit organization. It was co-founded by Chantel Maloney and I almost 3 years ago. She had seen something similar on Oprah a couple of years before that and thought that the idea really fit in Saskatoon. And after talking about it together and talking to a few other existing similar organizations, we came up with the idea for the Princess Shop. We accept donations from the Saskatoon community of graduation dresses and accessories and services, and then provide all of that free of charge for girls who are in need at the time of their grade 12 graduation. We've expanded now to include mentorship and a scholarship program, an annual benefit. We're applying for charity status. Lots of really exciting stuff going on all the time, and the organization continues to grow in leaps and bounds.
So is this something that that was already recognized as a need in the community that someone was meeting, or is this something that's totally new and I guess unexpected?
The need was there. I don't think that anyone else in Saskatoon had really addressed it that much before. There were a couple of high schools who were trying to round up some donations of dresses and that sort of thing to help out a couple of girls at a time. And when Chantel first came up with the idea and thought that it might be a good fit for Saskatoon, she started asking around, particularly in the business community, to see if first that there'd be the support. And the support was absolutely astonishing. So once we moved forward, we started contacting the high schools. And within our first year, we had 39 Princess graduates, and we'd only existed for 6 months. So it was very apparent very early on in the organization there's a huge need for it in Saskatoon.
So you mentioned with the Princess Shop that it started out with something that was essentially making those dresses available to young women in need and in creating that graduation experience. You said that you've expanded that as time has gone on and gotten into mentorship. How does that work, and how do people, I guess, find out about it and get involved?
Well, the mentorship component really came to be after Chantel and I got started and started meeting some of the young women in the program. And very quickly they started reaching out to Chantel and I and sharing their stories and looking for a friend and looking for a mentor in us. And after 39 girls in our first year, we realized that we couldn't provide that for all of the girls that would go through the Princess Shop. So the Fairy Godmother program was born. And after a couple of years of conceptualizing and trying to really establish how the program would work, we've launched it in a pilot phase for 2010. And so we have 4 matches right now that are working together and establishing a relationship and a support system between them. And anyone else who's interested can look on our website for more information. And we're looking for women to be fairy godmothers to our Princess graduates, women who are established in our Saskatoon community and are influential or have achieved success in their respective careers and are looking to share some of those experiences with a young woman and help her access the tools and resources that she needs to pursue success after grade 12.
So you mentioned about the business community being one of the first places that you looked for support for this, and you've mentioned influential women getting involved in the mentorship program. What has your experience been with the support for this program here in Saskatoon? How would you describe it and the kind of support that you've been receiving?
It's difficult to find the words to describe how quickly and how immensely our community supported the idea for the Princess Shop. We so quickly felt the embrace of Saskatoon around the idea, and people in our business community, people in our social community were reaching out and asking us, what can we be doing to help? How can I help? wanting to learn more and wanting to really be a part of what the Princess Shop was trying to accomplish. I didn't grow up in Saskatoon, and I'd been here for 3 years prior to establishing the Princess Shop, and it was absolutely amazing to see how warmly a community can embrace a new idea like that with 2 young women trying to make a difference for other young women in the city.
So, I guess my next question would be, we're talking about Saskatoon and the people, I guess in this case, often behind the headlines. They're not in politics or anything like that on the front page of the Star Phoenix every day. What is it that drives you to make Saskatoon a better place to provide the services and things that you're doing for young women here in Saskatoon? What makes you tick?
I find it so exciting how Saskatoon is growing. Like I said, I didn't grow up in Saskatoon, and when I moved here, I never expected to make it my home. And very quickly, I fell in love with Saskatoon. It's beautiful, and the arts and culture and the support of the business community and all of these things helped me to really start to involve myself in Saskatoon and care about its growth. And we've talked so much over the past few years about really bringing people back to the province who've moved away, or keeping young people here and finishing university and still seeing a lot of my friends wanting to move away from Saskatoon. It drives me to want to make our city a place that we want to live and work and play. And part of that is making sure that all people have access to the tools and resources that they need to be successful, and engaging our community in those types of initiatives and allowing everyone to make a difference in our community.
Now, if someone else wants to make a difference in our community by supporting the Princess Shop, how would they go about doing that? How do they get in touch with you?
The best way to look for ways to support the Princess Shop is to check out our website. You can donate, you can volunteer, you can attend our annual Glass Slipper Benefit, which is on April 5th of next year. Our keynote speaker is Betty Ann Heggie, and we're very excited about that. That event actually funds our operations for an entire year, so it's very important for a volunteer-operated organization like us. There's lots more information on how to volunteer and how to donate on our website.
And your website is?
theprincesshop.ca.
Perfect. Well, Ainsley, that's all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us, and thanks for all that you're doing to benefit young women here in Saskatoon.
Thank you, Zach.
And that's all the time that we have today for Saskatoon in Focus. I'm Zach Jeffries, and thanks so much for joining us. Remember, this is your program, and we want you to connect with us. Find us online at saskatooninfocus.ca, on Twitter, on Facebook, or send us an email, saskatooninfocus@gmail.com. When we all work together and we get your feedback, we can make sure that we make Saskatoon the best city in the world. Thanks again for joining us. Please join us next week on Saskatoon in Focus as we speak with Saskatoon Mayor Dawn Acheson.